How you going, guys? As you can see from the title of this video that I've bought a new project car. So reasoning behind buying this car is just to give the Chaser a break from just like our local events, because it's such an expensive and just a lot of money to drift that car, and like the potential of breaking it or getting it damaged, I don't want to risk it. Like I'll still want to drift it at like big events like Matsuri and like this upcoming 1JZ meeting, and I'm really excited to drive it there with like quality cars. But up here, it's just I'd rather have a car that I've built and that's more suited for up here. So without further ado, here is my new budget drift build. Got an E36. So here is my black E36 coupe. So yeah, the intention behind this is just to be a track car, and I just need something to build, and I've always wanted to build something, and now that I have a platform, and to get these now while they're cheap, before, you know, obviously the Japanese car market is ridiculous, and to try and get like a cheap, I don't know, Skyline or anything nowadays is pretty out of reach, because like, again, I don't really want to spend much money, and so I'm going to try to do this as budget friendly as possible, but probably not the wheels, but the rest of it, try to do it as budget as I can, just so I can get this thing out and drifting. So yeah, my plans are for it. Obviously it doesn't have an engine at the moment, so nice. So I'll be completely stripping this bay of everything, all the wiring, and this is going to be completely bare, and I'm gonna do the chassis wiring myself, and I'm obviously for the engine, which I've got an engine lined up for it, but I'm not going to tell you about it until I do get it, and then I'll tell you my plans with that. But it's an engine I've always wanted back again. I used to own a few vehicles with this engine, and I've always wanted one again, and I know I can make it real simple and nice and clean, especially at the engine bay. Like the exterior can be like not that good looking, I don't care, as long as the engine bay is nice, but I'm really keen for that. So and again, that engine swap will be in, and obviously it's not a BMW engine because I don't like BMW engines anyway. So the interior of, to be honest, I've had this for a little bit now. I've been sick this past week, so I've just been coming in and just doing work on the BMW. So I've already stripped the interior completely until all the stuff that I want to keep in there is in there at the moment. So when I got it, it had a full interior, but it was not in a good condition at all. So what it is, I'm pretty much leaving it stripped out just with 2 seats. I'm going to buy some like plastic door liners and just like rear seat delete from like plastic ones you can buy, and keeping the dash, I just might paint it black and just keep it real simple. Then I'll do my own chassis wiring for the lights and everything to make it just drift for legal, and probably do a hydro, even though they work. The handbrakes work really well on these, but it's just too far back, like compared to like a Chaser or something where it's like right next to you. So, and the exterior, I'm just gonna have to wait and see, because this is probably going to be a long project. Probably next year I'll probably properly start getting into it, or after the after December, once the chase is all finished, because once the chase is all done, I just don't really want to touch it anymore, because it's pretty much, I can't do much on it, and if I keep breaking it, it's just costs a lot of money when that breaks, and I'd rather have something more budget friendly and something I don't really care about too much, that if something breaks on it, it won't really cost me half my paycheck just to fix it. So it's just going to be all around better, I reckon. But yeah, if you like the styling of how I've got the chaser, you'll definitely like what I've got envisioned for the E36. I reckon it's going to be really sick. But yeah, so yeah, get keen for that. And as well as me, I've had a few weeks off, but again, I haven't had a charger for this, and this is about to die, so I don't know what's going to be filmed of this, but I've done a few things on the chaser, as well as in I've finally fitted up the intercooler. I've made a custom bracket, which I'll get into when I have battery on this again. So yeah, so I've done a little bit of things on the chaser, because I had my week off, but I couldn't find the charger or anything for this camera, so pretty much I've done a few things that I didn't film. So what I've done for the chaser in the meantime was I've completely done the intercooler setup. I don't know. So I've made brackets that come off the chassis support there, which usually the crash beam is, because it was too hard to get just sheets of small sheets of thick alloy plate, which is I don't know why it's so hard. Like, there's a place right there that sells alloy sheets, but it's in like 2.5 by 1 meter sheets, so I'm not spending that much money on something when I needed just very little of it. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make it out of steel. So what I've done, so I did the plates, and I've just welded on flat bar, just round steel, steel line. Then I've bent it to shape, and I've done like supports in it. But yeah, it holds the cooler pretty well. Only annoying thing is the cooler piping doesn't really line up the best with it. Like, that side is too high and that side's a little bit too low, but it can kind of work. It's gonna be, yeah, I have to get long bits of silicone joiner so that it'll actually work and not be a drama. And also I changed the direction of my oil cooler lines, so now they've come up into there. I don't know if you can see because it's bloody light, but it comes up into there. So, because before it was coming through there, and it was just like kind of rubbing on there, then squishing up against the cooler. And obviously when the trailer hit the intercooler, like just squished the lines a bit. So I was like, nah, I've got to remake it. So it sits a lot better now. Like, I still got to finalize it all and make it look a bit nicer, but for the time being, it's just really good. But yeah, not much is happening with this video. I just kind of wanted to show you the BMW and just a little bit of an update on the chaser, because I'm still waiting on parts, and I decided, like, you know what, I may as well make a video. But yeah, just let me know what you think about the BMW and like the build, and like if you're keen on it, because I'm keen on it, because I've always wanted to obviously build something and to make it my own, and obviously I wanted to do it on a Japanese car. Like, to be honest, like, BMW's not my real first choice of car, but I like how like the Polish or like in Europe does theirs, which like big kit, big lips, like low to the ground, which this thing's going to be on the ground, because obviously I don't have any road regulations or anything to abide by, so I can just go nuts, which is I'm keen about, but definitely we'll do metal flares on this because I don't like fiberglass, so definitely is copping the same treatment that the Chaser did with metal flares. I could just get some ulterior motive flares and just see which ones will work, and I reckon that'll look sick. Then I'll try and tuck the wheels up as far as I can to make it like real body low. I reckon that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, be keen, stay tuned for that, and I'm probably keen to get stuck into it probably next year. So I'm back from work again, and finally my parts have showed up that I've been waiting for the subframe. And of course, like, I've had 3 weeks off of work. Then when I go, but soon the first day I get back to work, all my parts show up. I'm like, well, that's how that works. But I'll go through the parts I got for the subframe, and but yeah, and I've finally ordered the big batch of parts that I needed to pretty much finish the car. So keen for that. But what we have here is from Odyssey Fab. It's the full brace kit for that, so I'll open it up and show you what's inside. Yeah, this is the first time actually seeing this, and I am pretty happy with that. That's such good packaging and everything. Jesus. But yeah, I'll open that up and see where this place is on the subframe, and yeah. Okay, so I got the subframe here, and I'll show you what the parts are. So you've got these inserts, which will go right there, the same as with the other side. You have another pretty much control arm brace, which will go there. This one will go right there. This one right here will go right in there. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna grind all of the subframe down to just bare, so then I can get ready to start welding in the inserts. I've got some of it grounded away. I'm still gonna keep going. I just thought I'd show you that, like, so around where it's gonna be welded in, I'll get my die grinder tool on, just going in there and making sure everything's, all the, like, the old paint and shit's off. So then when it's welded in there, so I'll go around to each point and make sure all of these are, like, can be welded in all good. Then, so I make sure they're done first, then I'll worry about just, like, getting all the nooks that I can. I'm not too fussed about the parts that aren't being welded or anything. I still just want to grind most of it all back so I can double check for any cracks, because I did find a crack. I don't know if you can, if this camera's bad at doing autofocus, but there's a crack that goes along there then down, so I'm gonna have to grind that out, as well as the ones on the other side. But yeah, I'll keep at it, trying to get to those spots, and for some reason my subframe's like bent up there, so now I've got to form that properly so these braces will fit. I don't know why that's like that. It's, as you can see, that's yeah, that's not straight, but that's good. I don't know how that happened. There's a lot of questionable things, but yeah. So so I've got the braces tacked in. So I put them ones in, then these corner ones, and I belted the back of the subframe so the bottom bracing can fit. So got them tacked in place, and I had to massage that so that bottom one will fit. So now I'm gonna quickly weld them out, then I'll show you after I'm finished. So finally got it all welded in place, and now then I'm gonna go over everything again and just like clean it up. Then I will take it outside and just paint it. I was gonna like do a cool paint job or like paint it like a nice color. I don't really have the time to like sort out to get it painted properly, but one day I might do it. But for now I'm just gonna paint it black. It's whatever. Because I originally wanted it to do it chrome, but it's just it'll cost too much money to send it down south to get chrome plated, because no one does it up here. So I'll clean it all up and get it painted. Today, subframe's dry now, so I'm gonna whack the diff. I'm gonna put the diff in it, then I'm gonna lift it back into the car. Then I think that's still got really to do subframe wise. I've got all the arms and stuff, which I've gotta buy like a bush press tool to get the new bushes that go onto the knuckle. So I'll get them in later on when I just gotta buy the tool, which I can't really be bothered getting right now. But yeah, I'll get this diff in and go from there. I've always want to try this. So the diff's done in there. Now I'm gonna just flop it back in there. I'll give this a try. So I got the diff in, subframe in. So with the diff in, I've rebuilt the CV shafts. I didn't film rebuilding the CV shafts because it's not that fun to watch rebuild, so yeah. So that'll do it for this episode. I know it's been all over the shop, and I've just had a bit of a chaotic few weeks where I just haven't had the time to establish a good line of like videos and stuff. And if you've got any more questions about the BMW, I'll get to that when I can be, it's not going to be this year, probably next year, but I just thought I'd show that I have this, and if you see it in the background, this is mine. And yeah, if I'll get to it, we'll see. But yeah, cheers for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, because it's going to be a good one. I've got the part now that I've been waiting for this car for a while, and it'll just make this a whole lot more better for like street use and everything. So stay tuned for that, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one. Cheers.